Let's go get 'em. It's your boy Snake Eye Bond, First TV checking in. Salute to that notification military for dropping them bombs on the like button before you get lit. North Carolina woman convicted of using acid, alligators in attempt to hide body of husband ex-girlfriend. Amanda Hayes was convicted last week of tampering with evidence. Y'all, let's go right into this. What is wrong with Amanda? First of all, a woman serving time for murdering her husband, ex-girlfriend, was convicted in a separate case last week of tampering with evidence using acid and alligators in an attempt to get rid of the victim's body. Amanda Hayes, 46, was sentenced to 20 years in prison last week for tampering with evidence in the case. The corpse of her husband, ex-girlfriend, 27-year-old Laura Ackerson, the Fort Bend County District Attorney Office said on Tuesday. In 2011, Hayes and her husband, Grant, killed Ackerson in their home in Raleigh, North Carolina, before dismembering her and transporting her body parts in coolers to Hayes' sister home in Richmond, Texas, according to the district attorney office. Once in Richmond, the couple first attempted to use muriatic acid to destroy Ackerson's body. When that didn't work, they took a boat until Oyster Creek and dumped Laura's body parts into the water with hopes that alligators would eat her remains. Hayes and her husband were convicted in 2014 of killing and dismembering Ackerson. Hayes is already serving a 13 to 16 year sentence in North Carolina after being convicted of second-degree murder, while Grant is serving life. Y'all, what is really going on in the world? Not only did they kill Ackerson, they dismembered her, and then once that acid didn't work, they tried to dump her body in Texas so the alligators can eat her, so nobody would find her. Y'all, the world is getting crueler and crueler by the minute. What do you think about this, y'all? The jury verdict was swift and the court sentence was appropriately harsh, lead prosecutor Amanda Boland said in an online statement. Laura Ackerson's family can be assured that Amanda Hayes will be punished for all of her barbaric behavior, whether it was in North Carolina or the great state of Texas. They ain't playing, man. In defense, Hayes testified that she didn't kill Ackerson and only helped get rid of her body in Texas because her husband threatened her if she didn't help. Judge Maggie Margamillo later sentenced her to the maximum possible punishment of 20 years in prison. Hayes is slated to serve the sentence following her prison time in North Carolina, the Fort Bend County District Attorney Office said. Hit that bell to get notified every time we upload. Crazy story. Alligators and acid.
A Raleigh woman convicted in Texas of helping her husband dispose of his ex-girlfriend's body by dissolving it in acid and then trying to feed the remains to alligators. Amanda Hayes is already serving time for a second-degree murder conviction here in North Carolina. A Wake County jury found Hayes guilty in 2014 for her role in the death of Laura Ackerson. Ackerson's dismembered remains were found in a Texas creek. Amanda Hayes will serve time in Texas once her sentence in North Carolina is
She was
complete.
convicted of killing her husband's ex-girlfriend in Wake County. Now Amanda Hayes could face another trial in Texas. Texas is where she and her husband Grant Hayes dumped the body of Laura Ackerson in 2011. WRL's Amanda Lamb broke this story on WRL.com this afternoon. Now she's live tonight with the details. Amanda?
Deborah, it's hard to believe we are still talking about this case, a case that took place right here at the Wake County Justice Center just a few months ago. But we are. Today, we've learned that Amanda Hayes was indicted in Texas on a new charge. Here's the indictment. She is currently serving 16 years, up to 16 years here in a North Carolina prison. But if she's convicted of this new charge, she could have her sentence doubled.
Amanda Hayes was originally charged with first-degree murder in the death of her husband's ex-girlfriend, Laura Ackerson, in July 2011. But in February, a jury found her guilty of a lesser charge, second-degree murder. So instead of life in prison, she was sentenced to up to 16 years. Now, a Texas grand jury has indicted Hayes on an additional charge.
They've indicted her for tampering with evidence, and because it's a human corpse, it's a second-degree felony that is punishable anywhere between 2 and 20 years.
Hayes admitted at trial she helped her husband, Grant Hayes, who was convicted of first-degree murder last year, dispose of Ackerson's body in a creek behind her sister's home in Texas. She said she did so under duress and that she had nothing to do with cutting up Ackerson's body, which investigators believe took place in their Raleigh apartment.
This is a case where it was obviously a heinous murder that happened, but what was even more heinous was what happened afterwards, and that Laura Ackerson's body was driven across the country and then hidden in a creek.
Zellinger tells us Hayes will eventually be sent to Texas to face the new charge.
You know, we'll work with those Texas authorities to make our witnesses available so they can help prove this charge.
Now, this is a detainer letter sent to the prison where Amanda Hayes is being held. It tells them about the new charge and the fact that they intend to extradite her to Texas. We understand that Grant Hayes will not face the same charge because he is already serving life in prison. Deborah.
Amanda Lamb live in Raleigh. Thank you.